Travis Kelce was the subject of a lengthy GQ interview. And there was a time where it seemed like every year, right around now, there would be this long-ass article in GQ with whoever the flavor of the moment is player. And inevitably, there would be some quote in there that number one, created a shitstorm,
right,
and number two, caused the player to complain about how the quote was harvested, whether it's Baker Mayfield saying it's off the record, whether it's a guy saying, I didn't say that,
right.
I didn't
Jalen
mean
Ramsey
that,
talking about Josh Allen as trash, right?
Yeah.
That was the GQ, right? I think we had Odell one year say something, and we did go on a run there a few years in a row where it was always spicy this time of the year from GQ.
Well, and I think what happens is you get young players who all of a sudden are talking to people that they don't see in the media room. They don't see at press conferences. They don't view them as sports writers, and they don't quite understand that anything they happen to say that might be relevant to their main gig is probably going to get included in the story, and then those of us who cover the sport are going to see it, and we're going to tell the world about it. So I think they've figured it out. Travis Kelce has been around long enough to figure out that you need to be careful what you say. And I scrubbed that thing back and forth looking for anything that might be remotely controversial. The best thing I saw was his admission that over the last 2 years, his interests in things other than football have impacted his football performance. I think it might have slipped a little bit because I did have a little bit more focus in trying to set myself up. In other words, for his career after football. Opportunities came up where I was excited to venture into a new world of acting and being an entertainer. I don't say this as I shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying that my work ethic is such that I have so much pride in how I do things. I never want the product to tail off. And I feel like these past 2 years haven't been to my standard. So, hey, I respect the fact that he admits it.
Yeah.
He had a string of like 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He hasn't gotten to 1,000 yards.
The last 2 years.
Either the last 2 years.
Right.
And his 5 touchdown receptions the last 2 years, it's less than his total in 2022, 21, or 20. He had more than the total of 8. He had a total of 8 touchdown catches the last 2 years. 3 and 5 or 5 and 3. There it is. 3 last year, 5 the year before. And look at the 3 years before it, 12, 9, and 11. You can see. I mean, the catches are still very high. It's what he's doing with the ball after he gets it.
That's it.
That isn't the same.
Exactly right. They're not attacking down the field quite the same with Travis Kelce. He's certainly not the yak master, right, yards after catch that he was in the prime of his career. I think we all saw a little of the slippage the year they played the 49ers in the Super Bowl. We saw it. He's referring to it there. I know I said it during that year and kind of got dragged on social media a little bit, not trying to say he still wasn't good. It just wasn't superstar take over the game good that regular season. Last year, it certainly wasn't, right? It felt like they had to force feed him the ball at times to get him open and make him a part of the offense. And especially with some of the wide receiver problems they had last year with injuries and all that, they needed to rely on Travis Kelce more. And I don't think he was capable of carrying the load or, being the guy that could just carry the team on the offensive side of the ball week in and week out. Now it seems like, right, the old phrase from Mike Tomlin, let's make the main thing the main thing. I think he got back to that. Yeah, I think he got lost a little bit. I mean, I understand. You're dating the most famous woman in the world, maybe the most famous person in the world. Life is going good. Millions from podcasts. Oh, I do a commercial, millions more. And you lose your way. But, this is where if he wants to end on a strong note, he's got to get back in the lab. And it sounds like he did that this offseason. So I'm happy for that. And I'm excited to see what he brings to the table here.
It's got to be such a weird time for him because he's already making more money not playing football than he's making playing football. He's already as famous, if not more famous, not playing football than he ever was playing football. But I really do think he went back to last year. And look, we all saw the video. He saw the video of him standing around at times during the Super Bowl. There's that one play where Patrick Mahomes is scrambling and Travis Kelce's in a position to throw a block and he just stands there. And I'm not being critical. Eye in the sky doesn't lie. And I think that in his mind, if they had won that game, he fully expected to win, and if they had won that game, he was done.
Maybe.
He's retiring.
They were in shell shock.
Yeah, and because I think the way he talked immediately after the game, I remember thinking he's done. He's done. So I don't know what epiphany he had after that caused him to decide to come back. But it sounds like he's back and he's fully focused, or as focused as he can be. And I haven't heard a whole lot about the Hollywood stuff that he's been doing, other than the Happy Gilmore thing. But that was before, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, that was last year. That was last year. Part of it got filmed and back in my brother-in-law's house. So yeah, that was 2 off seasons ago, right? That he filmed.
Yeah.
That.
So
right.
This past year, he may have been able to focus fully and just tap the brakes on everything else. They do the podcast once a week, twice a week most. I think in the off season they just do it once a week. I'm not sure.
He was living in Florida, trained down there, right? Doing that, right? There obviously was let me get back here and get back to the basics and start training and doing those type of things. He's. Yeah, I know you've been around Travis Kelce a little. I've been around him quite a lot in my life, and he's real dude. The one thing that makes him great is just what you see is what you get. He's going to shoot you straight, and I think he shot himself straight, looking in the mirror a little bit, going, "Wait, I've been too busy, on tour with Taylor Swift and all that, and I got to get back to being on tour for the Kansas City Chiefs and being reliable for Mahomes and Andy Reid." And I think he realized that, and he wants to go out on a high note, so he's going to give it all he's got this year.
Well, you get to a point where you enjoy your life,
And
when you really enjoy your life, all sorts of things happen. You start eating more than maybe you should. Foods you probably wouldn't ordinarily eat. There's a focus that, I love making Rocky comparisons wherever I can, but I think to Rocky 3, where you see the cutaway from Clubber Lang to how focused and determined he was, and Rocky's screwing around. I think that Travis Kelce the past couple of years had slipped from Clubber Lang mode into Rocky mode.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to get back to, the way that Rocky was before Rocky was the champ. Because you still got to fight. You got a team like the Eagles that knows that, hey, if we're only up by 10 points in the fourth quarter, they're going to come get us. So we got to kick the hell out of this team.
Yeah.
We got to go up so big that they have no chance to come back, that Mahomes can't work his magic. And if Kelce's attitude meshes with everyone else on the Chiefs, you better rethink your position that they're not going to win the division, because it could be that they're just lurking to remind everyone they are still the team that has basically run roughshod. And that was an early Simmsism. I can't remember what you said instead of roughshod.
Rough shop.
But they've run rough shop over the NFL for the past several years.
Yes,
rough shop.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing there, right? I'm scared too. It's hard to bet against the Chiefs in any capacity of what they've done. Like you always say, the absolute floor for Mahomes so far has been the AFC Championship game. We'll see. It's a big
losing in overtime of the AFC Championship game. For every AFC championship, he's played in every AFC championship since 2018, and it has at least been tied when regulation ends in every game. That's amazing.
It is amazing.
That's his floor.
Right. Yeah. So that's what makes it scary when you pick against them. And I know that. And they're the type that gets motivated by people picking against them and all that. But yeah, it's a big year. Chris Jones certainly wasn't as dominant as what we saw, right, a few years ago. He didn't pop in games the same way. So there's a team there where they're young, but they're also transitioning away from some of the older core guys who are kind of on the tail end of their career. Let's see if they can make one big, awesome last push here.
I had not seen this quote. Apparently, the quote went viral when he talked about his time hosting SNL, because he did a really good job. And I think that helped unlock a lot of things. Remember when what was he wearing? The jacket with the crotch sleeve?
The crotch sleeve.
Remember that?
The
crotch sleeve.
Right, exactly.
And then Bryce Young tried to do the exact same thing for the draft. Like, did nobody bother to tell Bryce Young that it's already been done by Travis Kelce, and Travis Kelce is like a foot taller than you? It's not going to work, Bryce. So anyway, he's talking about his time at SNL. The table reading for a guy that can't really read that well, it was kind of a F-KED situation. I almost said it. I mean, we haven't said it in a while, but it gave me, to go back to Rocky, it gave me like images of Rocky and the Beast aftershave commercial where he's trying to read off the cue cards. So anyway, it's just, he's a very authentic guy. He kind of owns that jock meathead. It's a very charming thing. And he's going to be incredibly successful when he's done playing. And he's got to be feeling that tension.
Yeah.
And, remember some of the conversations we would hear about between Tom Brady and his ex-wife, like how much more do you have to prove? I wonder if that, how much more do you have to prove? Well, one more Super Bowl win. And I'm convinced, I think it's his last year anyway, but I'm convinced if they win the Super Bowl this year, there's no way he's coming back next year.
I expect it to be the last year no matter what. I do. And I think he realizes it's coming to an end and he's trying to go all in here. I think he looks at it and I think he knows that, man, this could be one of those things 10 years from now. I could look back and go, man, why didn't I train a little harder and do some of the little things in the offseason to have a great end of my career? And I think he's realized that probably between himself, his brother Jason Kelce, all of that to, put his best foot forward for 2025 here.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.